Okay, so symmetry is pretty much being able to fold things in half and they still look the same on the other side. So something is symmetric. It can be folded on a line to form two equal halves that fit on top of each other. And to sort of give you a visual of that, let's say I have a shape here. I'm going to go for a square. Okay, so here's my nice, lovely little square. If I were to fold it in half, does it match? Yes, it does. If I were to fold it in half, there's nothing sticking out on either side. If I were to do it this way, yes. If I were to do it this way, yes. So how many different ways, and I have one more way I could do it, like that. So how many different ways was I able to just fold it? I could fold it 4 different ways. So this shape, this square, has 4 lines of symmetry. Now, what if I have a shape that's maybe more like a heart?
Yes.
So when we draw, we are only human. Drawing symmetrically, something like this, I can already tell you this side's a little bit wonky and doesn't match that side. If I were to cut it out and fold them up, they probably wouldn't fully match up. But if I folded this heart in half, I've got one on this side and I've got one on this side, right? That's symmetric. If I were to fold it this way, no, it's not the same. So how many lines of symmetry does the heart have? 1. So you have to kind of imagine folding it in half or cutting it in half. So let's draw a square, 3 by 3. And let's show how many lines of symmetry we can do. I can do it right down the middle. I could do it down the other middle. I can do it diagonally. I can do it the other diagonally. And when I count, I need to be sure that I don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 lines. You got to remember that this is one whole line. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines of symmetry. Now, what about a rectangle? What if I did a rectangle that was 3 by 5? How many lines of symmetry would I have there? I could go down the middle. I could go down the other middle. Hamburger and hot dog style, right? When we have our paper. Can I do diagonal? No. If I were to do diagonal, it would like cut it off. So a rectangle would only have 2 lines of symmetry. What about a triangle? If I were to have a nice equilateral triangle, to the best of my ability in drawing, I'm trying, there we go. First, what we always see is the right way up. that cuts it in half, right? But if I were to turn this triangle, because it is equilateral, and I were to go like, doop, like that, well, look, I can cut that in half. And look, if I were to do it again, oh, look.
Whoa.
When a shape is equal, usually however many sides it has is how many lines of symmetry it has. Unfortunately, it does not apply to a pentagon because that's not quite equal. But a hexagon, if I were to draw a hexagon, and guess what? I'm going to cheat because I can. Oh, someone put tape on it. Oh, it's a small one. La, 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 la. Well, I have a stencil. Deal with it. So here is, I can do corner to corner, right? If I were to turn it this way, and I do corner to corner, is that half? Yes, it is. Well, if I can do it from this corner to corner, then I sure can do it to this corner to corner. Doo-doo-doop. And to this corner to corner. Am I done? No, I have one more that I can do. I could do straight smack down the middle. Any other way I can do it? Yes. If I can do it in between these two, why can't I do it in between these two? Why can't I do it in between these two? You can keep on going. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count up my lines, and I can pretty much guarantee you it's going to be the amount of angles that there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice how I only counted half because they all connect. I start here. I'm going to end at this guy because this is the same one. So a hexagon has 6 sides, 6 vertices, and 6 lines of symmetry. I wonder how many lines of symmetry an octagon has. I could take a good guess that it's 8. What if I have a shape like this? Does that have any lines of symmetry? No, that does not. That is some weird little polygon doing its own little thing. It has no lines of symmetry. So you have to think about in terms of, can you have a mirror? If I were to hold up a mirror to it, it would reflect the other side. There's one more shape that I want to ask you about. A circle. How many lines of symmetry do you think a circle has? How many? What? Infinity. Why?
It just keeps going.
Because it's just, I could go, here's half a circle. Here's half a circle. Here's half a circle. Here's half a circle. We're getting into pizza territory now. Here's half a circle. Here's half a circle. Here's half of that. Here's half of that. Now we're getting into cookie cake territory. When you bring cookie cakes and I have to try and figure out how many slices I need to make to get all 16 of you. I could go here. 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 So a circle has infinite lines of symmetry. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. There are infinite possibilities of getting those lines of symmetry. And that's really it. That's symmetry in a nutshell for you. It has to be the same on either side. Sometimes it only has 1. Sometimes it will have 0. If I were to have an oval is like a stretched out circle. Well, that one I can only do in half and in half.
Not a mess.
And that's it. Not a mess, no more. That one's got 2. Now, a rectangle has 2 lines of symmetry, right?
Yeah.
What would happen if I have a parallelogram?
1.
How many lines of symmetry do we think a parallelogram has?
1. 0. 4. 1. 4.
All right, so remember, I can only do straight lines. It's like a scissor cut or like a karate chop in half. There is no There's no zipping around. So, okay, let me try and folding it in half.
No.
No. Let me try folding it the other way. Let me try maybe folding it a little like diagonally. Maybe if I folded it like the other way, like try to get like, I can't cut it. That's defeating the purpose of symmetry, dude. You can't cut it. You got to take this shape and you're just folding it. So a parallelogram has no lines of symmetry. I cannot fold this in any way to make it line up. It's not possible. So pay attention to that too, because it looks like maybe if I were to go like that, or maybe if I were to go like this. Okay, if I pinch there. See? Nope. Nope. So it has no lines of symmetry. So when you're looking at these things, you need to be able to think, how will this work? Just because it won't go this way, it will go that way. So you have to think and rotate and turn to see. Same thing that we were doing with this. We kept rotating it to see the new shape. Anything that mirrors, if it looks the same, then anything you did on this side can be done on that side. And that's where mistakes can be made, is when you forget to do one of them and you say it's only 5 lines or only 4 lines instead of 6. So that's where you got to really make sure you've hit every corner and that it's equal. One good way to check, cut it in half. Do the same lines over here, match the same lines over here. That's one way you can check. Okay?